to Necessary Measures with me, Venessa. Thank you for joining. Remember to subscribe so that you get notified when videos drop just like this one. And let's get into it today. Today I will be sharing with you my story and how Necessary Measures came to be. So let's see, I began teaching in 2010. I was an elementary school teacher. I taught all grades, K through 5th. I've taught in 3 different states, Pennsylvania, Illinois, and here in Georgia. And I have 3 beautiful babies and a loving husband. Actually, funny story really quickly, my husband and I met in kindergarten. I will enter the picture somewhere on your screen right now. Isn't that cute? So we've known each other for quite some time, and so started teaching, and basically Necessary Measures came to be. It was a thought that I had after working in the classroom and speaking with parents of my students on a regular basis. I actually had really strong parent participation within my career, and they would, just ask advice, or they would compliment me on, the energy that I bring to teaching, and how their kids, would have this love of learning and showing up to school and pushing through when things, got hard, or when they had to work on a skill that was, not easy for them. And so that's basically when it all started. I basically have had this thought for a while now, but quarantine kind of allowed me to really think deep into, how I can create or how I can show my passion and help others, help other parents, other new parents, other veteran parents. So I taught elementary school. I always knew I would be a teacher. Actually, since the 3rd grade, I knew that I wanted to become a teacher. And so that was my path in life up until 2017, when I exited the teaching field. But I came to Necessary Measures because I miss being in the classroom. I do miss being able to teach every day, my students. What I miss most about being in the classroom is the students, right? So I was like the worst procrastinator in the world when it came to lesson plans. If you are a teacher, please comment below. Are you one of those type A people, oh, I got my plans for the month and they're all done and all planned out, and I printed out all the activities and I got my folders in order and the centers are together? Or I don't know what type of personality I am, but I was the personality type that I turned the lesson plans in sometimes the day after it was due, the weekend after it was due, the week after they were due. Planning out, my creativity in the classroom was really hard for me. And I know I was younger, and so I've learned so much, throughout the years of me teaching, right? But, lesson plans, no, didn't really mesh with me. But don't get me wrong, my classroom, when my kids entered that door, I was on, they were on, it was no time wasted. But in terms of do I have my lesson plans hanging up outside my door? Probably not. Okay, so let's just get that out of the way. And so I've always loved teaching. I've taught English abroad. I went to Seoul, South Korea. I taught English over there it was a very short program right before I graduated. I think it was about 3 months or so that we stayed over there. And I also was able to tour some elementary schools in Norway as well as Sweden. So I love to travel. Thanks, COVID, for keeping me grounded for so long. But that was one of the things I was passionate about when I was in college was, traveling and also getting insight into other education systems and what works for them, and basically bringing those experiences into my classroom. And so I enjoyed showing my students the world through the lessons that I would teach or the books that I would read and I would share with them. And so basically what I began to notice was the connection between teaching and parenting. For me, I felt like the skills that I was learning in the classroom would be great when I, had my future kids. And in 2013, that's when my son was born. My first son was born in 2013, and I had an opportunity to get that experience firsthand, teaching and being a mom and, meshing the two together. But I don't know if it was me being just a new mom, a new parent. I'm not sure what it was, and maybe it was mom guilt. It was like a real thing with me because I struggled. Emotionally, I was struggling with, I poured my heart and my soul and my energy into my classroom. And at the end of the day, when I would come home, I would just be exhausted. And I felt like I had nothing more to give to my own child. And that guilt that sets in, it was serious. Like, I would constantly think about how tired I'm going to be when I get home, and how I had to find some type of way to boost my energy, for my son, because I thought it was unfair being at work all day and having all this energy for other people's kids and then come home and not have that same energy for my son. Who is my absolute world. Oh, they are just awesome little people, and I love them so much. So that's when the shift began within me. I knew that I did not want to be one that would retire from teaching, and kudos to those many teachers that stay in the field, lifelong educators. We definitely need people like that, and that really are there for the right reasons. And yeah, we definitely need teachers like that. For me, it was something that I always said that for me, I knew that retiring from teaching wasn't something I wanted to do. What life after teaching looked like or how I would leave the field, I wasn't sure, but I knew it would come in some way or another. And so the opportunity presented itself, timing, everything worked out pretty perfectly. So in 2017, I was due to have my second son in late March. And I knew that I would be on maternity leave basically if he came around his due date, which he did not. I never made a due date with any of my kids, but I digress. So if he came on his due date, I knew that my maternity leave would cover me through the end of the school year, and then we had, summers off. We used to have summers off as teachers. COVID completely changed that, but it was just like the way the timing was going to work. It was really an opportunity for me to really think about whether I was going to go back into teaching or not. And at the time, my husband had started a business, and during my not maternity leave, but during my my like weekends, or on some days I didn't quite make it into school because I thought that I was like contracting, but I wasn't. On days like those, I would help him out, and so I began to see that, oh, this is something like I could really help you out here in the business. And so the way the timing worked out, basically I let my administration know that I did not plan to return from did I let them know? I don't know. Maybe it was just a decision my husband and I made. I don't think we told anyone. Now that I think about it, I think we made the decision and like didn't want to speak on it because we knew that, you know, a lot of times, you know, family means well, but sometimes you just have to do things and you don't necessarily have it all planned out, but you just kind of take that leap of faith. And so we took a leap of faith and we both became entrepreneurs. So I helped him with, you know, build his business, build our business, our family business. And through that, I'm trying to make this nice and short and sweet, but through that, I was able to really do a lot of thinking and meditating and journaling about, you know, how I want to still have teaching, but basically also, you know, I'm a mom and I feel like I'm a mom first. And so that's a big part of my life now, where before I had kids, it was not. And so basically just those best practices that I would learn in the classroom and that I would share on parent-teacher nights with my parents or parents of other grade levels, other students. I want to bring that here to you. And I think it'll be super beneficial in building the relationships with your kids and just the psychology behind some of the theories that some of the teaching methods incorporate. I really agree with and can see the benefit of it for children. And so for that reason, that is why I started Necessary Measures. And I think that that is something that I bring into my parenting style, just really keeping the child's thinking forefront of mind, and, you know, basically just my belief that everyone has an opinion, right? Sometimes society can make the adults be perceived as right and all-knowing, and kids as, you know, not so much, or they should listen to me because I, you know, have more experience. But really, one thing that I fostered in my classroom that I also foster in my household is that, you know, everyone has an opinion, and, you know, it's safe to share your opinion, and then we can have a discussion, a mutual relationship, and discuss, you know, why things may be the way they are, why they may not be the way they are. And so I really wanted to, you know, share those type of philosophies and theories with other parents and have them incorporate it into their parenting styles as well, and see what a major difference it makes in the relationship with your children or your child. So that is how Necessary Measures came to be. I'm so excited that you joined me today. Please subscribe to the channel so that you can get updates and notifications when videos drop just like this one. Like and comment below. Let me know, what type of teacher are you? Were you? If you don't teach at all, that's okay. What type of parent are you? Do you need help with anything? Is there something that you would like to hear my perspective on, or something that you need some help with? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the flip side.